again and welcome back. In this Secrets of the Biofield video, I want to start making you comfortable with some very old ideas about the body that almost nobody talks about these days. We're going to discuss how one part of the body communicates with another part of the body. I'm going to keep these concepts as simple as possible because the actual things that happen each second in the body may really surprise you. I'll tell you the story, and at the end, the truth is really pretty amazing. When it comes to running the body, everybody already knows about the brain and the spinal cord sending signals to everywhere. This process is complex enough, but it gets way more complex than that. The brain and nerves are kind of like cables and wires. So in biofield testing, we call that the hardwired nervous system. But we also have the biofield, which is more like a soup of information. It's more like Wi-Fi, with all the body's information just flying through the air. But wait, there's more. We have neuropeptides, which have been called the molecules of emotion. Neuropeptides come from the organs and travel throughout the bloodstream to transfer information about emotions, hormones, and other processes. But in this video, I'll discuss another way the body communicates. It uses something called biophotons, which I'll get to in a minute. My point is that all of these communication systems work together to keep the body balanced. And here's the most important point. All three of these things are connected through your biofield. And we can talk to each of them as we do our biofield testing procedures. I'll do a separate video on each, but right now I want to simply talk about biophotons. They were discovered in 1922, but mostly forgotten for about 50 years. They were rediscovered and studied by German biophysicist Dr. Fritz Albert Popp in the mid-1970s. Biophotons are ultra-low energy particles of light that originate within the DNA of the cells of the body. Dr. Popp's research, by necessity, utilized extremely sensitive equipment in order to verify the existence of these particles since they were of such low energy. Biophotons are used in many multiple non-specific ways to communicate with the body. So boring, you might say? Well, it gets interesting fast. Biophotons provide an additional way for one part of the body to communicate with a distant part, a sort of non-hardwired communication independent of the brain and the spinal cord. Science has shown that in using biophotons, the cells in your feet can talk to the hairs on your head or anywhere else for that matter. So here's the really interesting part. It's estimated that there are 50 trillion cells in everybody's body. It's also estimated that each of these cells have 100,000 reactions occurring each second. So that's 50 with 18 zeros after it, biophoton reactions every second. Biophotons play an incredibly important role in the body, even though they were very difficult to first acknowledge or even measure. In biofield testing, we realize that to understand all of the body's many reactions is like an impossible task, so we don't even really try. Nor do we always need to understand why the body does what it does. All of the information provided by the biophotons and the neuropeptides and all the brain and spinal cord functions are all found in the information of your biofield. It's sort of like one-stop shopping. We just read and respond to the information available through our procedures designed to glean information from your large and balanced biofield, if indeed you have a healthy one. Everything I've stated is all based on science fact. There's trillions upon trillions of bits of information being transmitted within your biofield every second, ready and willing to share with the healthcare practitioners who know how to interpret it. But what if your healthcare practitioner doesn't know about or understand the biofield? Well, they can always do more lab tests, which are helpful, but it's not complete, especially when you compare it to the information your biofield could provide. I just want you to think about that for a little bit. I'll see you in the next video.